welcome again to Active Citizens. The program is Active Citizens Parliament, and today I am joined by our analyst in person of Anthony Oji and Ifoma Oji. Great to have you both here.
Same here.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Anthony, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah. Yes. I can.
All right, that's lovely. Okay, so we are going to be addressing two topics for today. The first one is federal government gets 25.35 million loan to tackle Kaduna out of school crisis. The second one is Tinubu directs rollout of free health care for low-income retirees. All right, so this is really interesting, Ifoma, because especially the second topic, but before we get there, let's talk about the million, like we say again. So this is another huge figure that we are hearing from this particular administration. The federal government getting $25.35 million loan, and they said it is to tackle the Kaduna out of school crisis. And I mean, 25.35 million Kuwait loan after the other loans that they have borrowed in the past. This particular loan. So this loan is part of a broader $62.8 million financial package, okay? And the program is set to enroll over 100,000 children, construct and upgrade more than 200 schools, and improve both the learning environment and the capacity of teachers in undeserved areas across the state. Now, the other finance structure also contributed to the goal in presence of the Islamic Development Bank, who contributed the $10.5 million to the goal. The Global Partnership for Education also contributed $15.45 million. Now, the Education Above All Foundation contributed the sum of $10 million, amongst others. I want us to talk about this goal. Of course, it's a good initiative to focus on the out-of-school children in Kaduna State and get children, and especially girls, people living with disability, back to school. But now, my number one question is, who are the people that have been employed by the presidency or the federal level or even the Kaduna state government to ensure that this money is being, disbursed appropriately, or that there is a transparent means for people to confirm or to check that this money that they said that they have gotten from Kuwait, from the Dubai fund, is actually going to go to the said people? And 25.35 million loan to put just 100,000 children in school. I don't even personally think that that is enough, but they said they also want to build schools, renovate schools. You know, Nigerian renovation, they are really good at spending a huge amount of money when it comes to renovation. But that's just me. What are your thoughts, Ifoma?
Well, my first comment to this is statistics running around, math running around, billions running around. This is the same country we say we have money, because in the afternoon show I mentioned something like Nigeria is a bullion van, and at this time around I don't even know what to say again. Now, but let's take it back to afternoon when we mentioned something, or rather one of our shows, when we mentioned something about the Northerners being marginalized according to their governor, Obasani. Attention has actually been placed on the northern country, estates. Okay, and him coming out to say that they've not been doing anything for them. It is more like a strategy, since you guys said we are not doing anything for you people, we are now bringing this to you. I don't know if that is.
I understand what you're saying.
But what I don't understand is, so Nigerian, the best thing you can do for Nigerian students or out of school children, is to educate them with money acquired through loans. So we want to train our children with loan or a loan. That is number one. Then number two, the Kuwait that we are talking about here, it's kind of a mini country, a mini state. They have just crude oil. Their natural resources is just crude oil and gas. And imagine a country like that. I didn't even mention the fact that these people they depend solely on importation from other countries. And let's look at Nigeria. Should I talk about our natural resources?
Yeah.
Should I talk about crude oil? Should I talk about zinc? Should I talk about fishes, our aquatic resources? Should I talk about ebony? Should I talk about teak? We have a lot of, like, we are rich. We are enriched with natural resources. Should I talk about climatic factors? We are blessed. And we are borrowing from a country that has just natural gas and oil.
It's quite ironic. It's quite ironic. But Mr. Tony, what are your thoughts? Okay. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, Nigeria is a failed country in any which way you look at it. What happens to their annual budgets? They don't put those projects in the annual budget. Rather, they whimsically, when they feel like, they go out and borrow money to say they are implementing a particular project that was not even mentioned in the budget. Look, I was reading recently, Senator Ninji, that guy that is always on their neck, is now up in arms, asking them to explain to Nigerians, Tinubu and Akpabio, what they are doing with all this money they are borrowing. Explain to Nigerians. Let us understand what is going on. Because how do they think Nigerians will feel when at any point in time, they will just come up and say, we're borrowing this amount of money for this project. We're borrowing that amount of money for that project. They take us as fools, people that don't matter. We don't matter as far as they're concerned.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
And that's not how it should be.
And if you watch...
But I wanted to ask, sorry to cut you short, sir. Sorry. But for the next question I really wanted to ask is the nations that are giving out these loans, okay? We have a lot of countries where Nigerians have borrowed money from endlessly. I mean, why are new countries or new organizations giving out loans to a country that is yet to pay their previous loans? Is there something they are giving in exchange? What is it? What are they bringing to the bargain table?
You know, those countries you talk about, they are very well managed. They are not physically irresponsible like this country is. They manage their resources well. There is no corruption like it is in this country. That's why they're able to, given the limited varieties of resources they have, in some cases oil and gas, like Mr. mentioned, but they are still able to manage what they have to be able to give Nigeria and other countries loans. And those agencies like IMF and World Bank that continuously extend loan to Nigeria is what is really amazing. You know, Nigeria is really, people are suffering here. And you don't even ask how the loan you are giving this country is being used. These people are just amassing wealth. They say they're going to do this project
for themselves.
There's no result of actually what the project they borrowed the money for accomplished. Don't explain it. It's just borrowing. They tell us they are borrowing. What is the outcome of this money you borrowed to implement this project? How successful was it?
And that's the question of the day. That's the question of the day, Mr. Atheni. And then you know, the major challenges facing Kaduna State is the issue of insecurity, poverty, and hunger. My question is, why are they not tackling the issue of insecurity? Is it $25 million for education in an insecure state that will help the Kaduna children or Nigeria? You wish to laugh in them.
Okay, let's take us back to the Northerners meeting. When I mentioned something like in that meeting that they pointed out that a lot of children are out of school, and not just out of school, that there is serious insecurity, and it was pushed down the carpet. I mentioned something like that. Now, why would they actually bring up something like this or pay attention to it when it wasn't paid attention to initially? So the one that they pointed out to is the one that they're focusing on.
For what?
For attention, and that's the one. Since you mentioned that this is what you guys want right now, they'll give you guys what you want.
No, that just shows the level of the poor value level that we have, or the misplaced priority, and it's really sad to see. But I also wanted to ask you, Mr. Thingy, I mean, with this program now, how do we think it is going to positively affect Kaduna State or the children there? How do we think that they are going to ensure that this particular amount, because the money is huge, it's not something that we can ignore. How are we sure? How can we just ensure that this money is dispersed appropriately? What do we suggest they do? Should they create a board that will make sure that the money is dispersed appropriately, and should it be made public?
I wish we could find people, honest people, enough of them in this country, because the system, the people, everything here is just mangled in corruption, so to say. If you can get honest people to manage such a project, you find out that there will be a good outcome. There will be accountability. Everything that they spent will be detailed, and the rest of it. But what is going on in our country is that it's an opportunity. This is an opportunity for some people to make money, to cater away those resources meant for the project, for these children. You know, if the governor, by the way, what is the Kanu's government budget is on education? What is it? Why is the federal government getting involved in state education system
issues? Yeah.
In some countries, like in the US, federal government doesn't do such a thing. They don't give them money, give states money to build schools or hire teachers and stuff like that. It's the responsibility of the state government. But sometimes,
and that's correct,
they use such a project for political purposes to garner favor, so that election time is coming, and you're going to see some of these
exactly
projects around. The federal government will be throwing out to states. Yeah. To curry favor.
Yeah.
So
situation we found ourselves
in. A matter of Nigeria telling themselves, look, we've got to make this country work. We got to make this country work. It's not every opportunity we are looking for a way to grab money into our own pockets. And then forget about
now this particular loan, they want take, or they've rather taken it. It's actually a welcomed initiative. But at the same time, I think Nigerians should focus on lessening their level of over-independence. We depend too much on other countries for our own benefits. It is too much. This country, see, in the next coming years, they will sell this country. Take their shares from our
because
country.
I don't know if they're forgetting that loans are to be paid. Are they giving it for free?
And not just that. There was something you were asking Mr. Tony. You said something like, why do Nigerians keep on borrowing? Why do those people keep on giving us loan when they know that we have bad
payments record
debt? And I'm like, I mentioned a lot of natural resources. I mentioned agricultural resources. I mentioned aquatic resources. I mentioned a whole lot of things. Nigeria, Diego, they are rich. So when you are rich, people will want to troop in. Let me give you an example. If I have everything, I am rich, I am wealthy, I smell nice, wouldn't you want to come close to me?
Sure.
Wouldn't you want to know the kind of perfume that I use?
Of course.
Thank you. So they want to know, and by the time that Nigerians, this country will be sold, they will take their shares. It's that simple.
I like the fact that you are standing on your statement that there is a possibility that Nigeria will be sold. But let's move on to the next topic for today. It's the issue of Tinubu. He directed rollout of free healthcare for low-income retirees. I feel like I wanted to give a round of applause because I'm like, finally. During the last conversations we've had in the past and also the one we had yesterday, one of my questions was, what do we think would be Tinubu's response to this constant backlash and criticism? So this is one of the response. So Tinubu has called for the prompt implementation of long overdue pension increases and a minimum pension guarantee. The president mandated the PENCOM DG to urgently resolve the long-standing police pension issue, stating that police officers deserve to retire with dignity and peace of mind. Now, my question is, as the PENCOM DG was mandated to ensure that this police pension issue is resolved, who was held accountable for the ones that were not paid, the gratuity that were not paid? It's not about giving mandate. It's not about saying, oh, right now we need to do this, we need to fix. The ones that were not paid for how many years, who was responsible? And I just wanted Mr. Tony to give me his thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, this economy is highly centralized. It's federal government this, federal government that. Why is it that the federal government is so much involved when we have states that are semi-autonomous, that are supposed to cater for their own indigents? Everybody is looking on the federal government to come and rescue them. What are you doing with the money you are getting from the federal government? You are not building roads. You are not building, establishing businesses. You are just paying people, the legislator. You have assistants everywhere, not producing anything that can help generate more money for the state. And we all look out for freebies from the federal government. This is really not right. federal government is getting involved in every sphere of the economy. Even retirees are hoping on the federal government to come and rescue them. What is actually the policy of states in terms of retirees, benefits, pension benefits they get? How is the structure of pensions managed in the states? You know, this centralization is not too much. They need to decentralize some of these functions to states that are closer to the people.
No, you're right, Mr. Anthony. Yes, we need to actually start looking at this ASAP, because without it, it seems as though the federal government will just decide one morning, oh, we need to come into Kaduna and fix this, and we have to go loan more money, and it's not right. But my next question for you, Ifeoma, is this. How will the government ensure that the free healthcare program is adequately funded, one, and two, it is sustained over time? So if they borrow $25 million in 2025, will they borrow another amount of money in the next 5 years? What do you think that they should do to sustain this?
It's simple and short. In as much as the system is bad and corrupt, there are still good persons or good people in this country. So those fraction of good person with reputable characters should be placed to man those to make sure that it gets the adequate attention needed, and then the funds that they have acquired be allocated to that particular thing they actually
have said. I really agree. And Mr. Anthony, just 2 more questions and then we'll call it a wrap. My first question to you is, what steps will be taken to raise awareness so that the said retirees can know that this has been made available for them? And 2, how will the government address any barriers to access this fund that has been made available, or the free healthcare that has been made available for retirees?
Well, if the federal government is going to take care of that, then it's the responsibility of state governments to help broadcast this information to their retirees. They can't expect the federal government to give them money and then be the only ones to come and inform people this is available for you. You can go to your states and get the benefits. The states have to take that responsibility. The money has been given to you. Then why don't you do the rest of it? Announce it. Let people know.
Okay.
Use your information system to spread the news, and people will.
I think the government should address the barriers people might face in accessing this free healthcare.
Well, I mean, there will be a barrier if you don't let people know what is available and how to access them. Use the media. Use printed materials. Whatever stuff you want to use to make people aware that such a benefit is available for them, then use it. Yes, use it. Don't just...
Exactly.
Thank
you so much, sir.
Now, a quick reaction to this particular loan. In as much as it is long overdue, we still acknowledge the fact that they listen to the cry of the North and Nigerians.
Exactly.
But it shouldn't be that way. What I mean, you shouldn't loan to, reply to the cries of your country. And not just that, you funded this with loan. The healthcare sector is underfunded, is underdeveloped, and it needs adequate attention. It needs like massive attention. And not just that, I still want to bring in the other story that we discussed earlier. Nigerians, the government, let us stop chasing rats when the house is on fire. That's all I.
Oh, that was apt. Thank you so much, Ifomodi. And a big thank you to our analyst in person of Mr. Anthony Oji. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a delight having this conversation, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so till we see you tomorrow morning for Morning Pulse, don't forget that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done that yet. And please turn on your notification bell so that you are notified when we have programs, so when we go live. You can also follow me on my social media platform at Sharon Enemchuku across all social media platforms. And Ifoma at
Oji Sophia or Miss Select across all social media platforms.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Until we see you tomorrow, have a good day.